YouTube, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share a story with you guys and relate this story to some advice that I offer in regards to sorority life. So I've had some questions in regards to what to do if a sorority or an organization in general has intake without you, and I want to share a story with you guys. So my freshman year, if you guys haven't watched any of my videos, my freshman year, I was not interested in joining a sorority at all. I lived on a sorority floor when I was in college, and I just had no interest in it until one day I met this girl who was in Sigma Gamma Rho, and I was like, I want to be one of her. So long story short, freshman year, I was really engrossed and heavily interested. So I talked to the girl, I did my research, I was just so adamant about joining this organization. And then this particular chapter that I was interested in, my chapter, they had intake a lot. So I knew that they were going to have intake in the spring, and I knew they were going to have intake in the fall. So I was watching them, I kept my eye on them, I kept studying them, I attended as many events as I could. I think I could have done a little more, but I attended as many events as I could, and I just knew that in the fall I would join this particular organization. Like I knew it was going to happen for me. Or in the spring, I knew in the spring that it was going to happen for me. They were going to have intake. This was like 2010, so I knew I was going to be a part of the class of 2011. I just knew it. So one day they just didn't have intake. I realized, I was like, I heard they were going to have intake. They were going to have intake. I spoke to a couple of them, so I knew it was going to go on, but I didn't see any flyers about their interest meeting. I didn't see any of that. And then lo and behold, in the summer, like maybe July, they had a summer line. And I was just like, how did this happen? How did I miss the boat? What was I doing? Like, did I not talk to them enough? Did I not communicate my interests? Like, what did I miss? The girl who I was talking to knew that I was interested, but how did I miss the boat? So what I ended up finding out much later is they already had a group of girls that they were interested in bringing out this particular year. And then with my sorority as well, with my chapter, they took second semester freshmen, so I still didn't get why I like missed it. So I say that to say to you guys that you could do all the research in the world. You can talk to as many people as you want. Sometimes the chapter just has other plans. And it's because of that that I recommend doing these things to make sure that you don't miss the boat like I did. One thing that I think is truly important is to make sure that you're talking to the right people. While I was interested in joining this particular chapter and was speaking to certain members, I wasn't speaking to the members that were actually involved in intake. What I had to realize with my chapter, and this might not be the same for everybody, but with my chapter, with my sorority, you have people who are part of the intake committee. Like, you have people who are solely in charge of bringing girls in, which is usually the vice president because they're the membership chair. Then they have the president is sometimes involved, but not as heavily because, you know, the president has president duties. And then you have individual members in the chapter who are also involved. So make sure that you're talking to the people who are involved in intake. And if you don't know who those people are, make sure that before anyone, or if you don't talk to anyone, make sure that you talk to the vice president. Make sure that you have established connection with them because they're the ones that are like front of the line dealing with membership all the time. So make sure you're talking to them. The other thing that I would make sure that you're doing is make sure that you're attending the events. Like I said, I attended some sorority events, but I attended the ones that didn't make me feel like I was going to be singled out, because my chapter at the time, we were a smaller chapter, so a lot of their events, if they did it by themselves, they were a little more intimate. Yes, you can attend intake orientation. Yes, you can attend organization fairs, but make sure you're attending events that actually deal with the chapter, that the chapter hosts. Go to their community service if you can. Those are pretty intimate. It's just the chapter. If they have Martin Luther King Junior Service Day, make sure you pick a day with the chapter, or pick a service event with the chapter so that you are with them and you're interacting with them instead of doing something that includes everybody where you don't get a chance to like have alone time with them. Make sure that you're doing that. My other piece of advice that I would recommend to you guys is to make sure that you're expressing interest. I know some of you are deathly scared of saying out loud that you're interested in joining an organization in undergrad, but I think it's important to, yes, be discreet. Don't say it, don't like declare it on top of a building, but make sure that you're telling the organizations themselves that you're interested in joining. Make sure that you're telling the right people within the chapter that you want to join so that they're aware of these things. Because what will happen is, if you're so busy trying to be discreet and trying to keep your interest to yourself but still trying to interact with them, they'll probably be like, she comes to the events, but I don't really know like what her purpose is because we don't know anything about her. So make sure that you're going to events, make sure that you're communicating with them, make sure that you say to them, if you're 100% sure, make sure that you're telling them that you're interested in the organization, that you're interested in learning more, that you'd like to participate in more of their events, so that they can see not only are you being consistent with your interests, but they can see that you actually want to join. Because some people that just hang around and don't open their mouths, we don't know that you actually want to join. One thing that I would not recommend doing if you end up missing the boat with intake and it kind of goes on without you is, in undergrad, I would not recommend going to them and asking why you weren't picked. I would just recommend remaining consistent at all times. Even though they have intake without you, even though you missed it, keep going to their events, keep showing that you're interested, and keep participating and interacting with them, because it could be those reasons that I mentioned before, that they didn't pick you, they didn't know you were interested, or they didn't know enough about you. So make sure that the next time around that you're interested. And another thing that you can do too is, if you know someone who crossed during the time that you missed, interact with those people, because now you have a fresh perspective from someone who just entered as to what you can do to make sure that you get in this time. And then you'll also have an ally in the chapter, because they'll probably be able to vouch for you in the future. If you're someone who is interested in joining grad chapter and you missed the opportunity for intake, I think that you can approach it a little differently. I think that you can just discuss it with the intake chair. Just pull her aside and be like, hi, I saw that you guys had a group of girls who were initiated. I was just wondering when you guys would have your next intake. I would be interested in learning more about it. And 9 times out of 10, if they know you, like they've seen you before, you might have just been forgotten, which tends to happen, because with grad chapter, same thing. If you're not consistent, if you're not communicating, if you're not participating, they're like, oh, she's not as interested, let's move on to somebody else. So a lot of the times the ball is in your court to make sure that you're consistently reaching out to people. And if you're reaching out to people and they still don't pick you, they could have their own reasons as to why they don't pick you. Like I said, grad chapter is, I feel like, it's more of a game sometimes than undergrad, but that's just what I've seen happen in grad chapters. A lot of times they'll overlook someone because the person doesn't seem as interested. They're too busy and they don't have time to join everyone else. So it could just be that it's the wrong timing, and there's nothing wrong with that. When I joined, it was in spring 2012, and I thought I was going to be a part of the class of 2000 class. I thought I was going to be a part of the 2011 initiates, and it didn't happen for me. But I wasn't discouraged. I just kept going. You have to stay motivated. You have to be consistent. You have to literally be so eager, which is actually my lion's name is the 3 eagers. You have to be really eager, which is true. You have to be very eager. You have to be not aggressive, but just very persistent in your desire to join, and it has to show on you, and they'll pay attention to that and they'll respect that, and then 9 times out of 10 you'll get in. You guys don't have to take my advice. Like I said, I am not an expert. However, I think I got some pretty good information. So I hope that you guys found this video helpful, and some of you can relate. If you can, just comment below. Also, if you're not already participating in my giveaway, make sure that you are subscribed to my channel, that you follow me on Instagram, tag someone in my KelsTells Vlogmas post on Instagram that you think would find my videos helpful. Any video, it could be any video at all. Just make sure that you tag a friend, and then give my pros and cons of fall intake a thumbs up to let me know that you did it. And I have giveaways for members and non-members. I think I'm going to do 2 giveaways. I haven't mentioned that before, but I think I'm going to do 2. So make sure that you are participating in my giveaway if you would like a free gift from me. But give me a thumbs up, like this video, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.